Here it is again. Another feel-good day. You better feel good. Feelings ain't real. But it better be good, and if it ain't good, you got to make it good because you ain't getting it back. You might as well get something positive out of the experience. The inspiration for the experience. Anyway, right about now we got a lot of issues going on in these three dimensions that distract you from the other dimensions, like the ethereal. What's above a giant is the ethereal realm. And if you're an ant, you're going to be distracted by what's directly in front of you. Ants can't even do this. They don't got an adjustable bone or vertebrae in their neck to be able to fathom what's above them. So they just see what's right beneath them and right in front of them. And that's how most of us is. Like me, I'm on this phone. I'm getting a crick in my neck because I'm like this all day long. Like most of us. Act like we don't have a retractable vertebrae to see all ranges of motion. You know what I'm saying? But we do. Yes, we do. So you'll be distracted. You won't even know what's going on because you're stuck in your body in these feelings, these fleeting feelings about what they put in front of you to entertain you. Yeah, to distract your mental and to predict your mentality and the actions that you will perform. And right about now, these issues in the three dimensions is dictating a lot of people's actions. Some of those issues being fires. It's like, man, I'm out here with the fire, dog. It's not what they saying it is on that 6 studios or television. It ain't that. God bless all of the victims or the people, they ain't got no fire insurance who is truly affecting. But, if you see flame and you don't go the opposite direction, it was your turn to burn. You get what I'm saying? And how can you fear what God has proclaimed? If it's your time, it's your time. And that's eternal. That's, again, what you can't see or fathom. They will call it metaphysical, but that's just a man's way to explain something he can't explain. What is hidden from sight, but what is actually real. If it's your time, it's your time. So why have anxiety about it? Why worry? That's debt that you don't even need to have. As long as you give it to God, but people don't do that no more. They give it to the cult or personalities. They got therapists and life coaches that they would give the glory to, give the credit to their life getting better or their performance increasing. My life coach, my therapist. Like, hold on, man. You don't know the almighty, the ethereal realm was what you were before you came into this flesh. And I'm asking the question in general and tongue in cheek because sometimes there are times when I get not discouraged, but I get the feeling, I get the notion that folks don't really know that. They would give the credit to a life coach or some guru who sat down and said something real slick that they picked up on and took and embodied. And then, they got a therapist, a life coach, or somebody who is training them like they a tame wild animal in the circus. Right? So, like, if you're scared of the fires, I'm not scared of the fire. I mean, if it's time for me to get God, I'm going to get God. I'm scared of the pain. I don't want to burn. I'm scared of burning. But the fire, God gave me discernment and a retractable neck so I can see all realms and dimensions and stay out of harm's way unless it is his will to put me in harm's way. And you don't know that unless you go to him or it, not a performance coach, a life coach, or some type of guru consultant. You go to him and you get on your knees. You humble thyself. You get out of your body, out of your feelings, and out of your flesh altogether. And you submit and you obey to what law and what orders and what will comes down upon you after that. Yeah, after you fast and you ask for direction and protection and instruction, and you don't get up or come back into this body until you're moving with its will. And then if you're doing that, who could be against you? What can happen that is not ordained or in these three dimensions supposed to occur? That's why I tell everybody I meet, and they be looking at me funny. Hey, it ain't no good morning. It's good to see you. You're here for a reason. I hope you're a day closer to fulfilling your purpose and His will in your life. I pray that you submit and you receive the protection. And if it ain't a good day, you better make it one, because you ain't getting it back. That's if you covet staying here in this realm. Like the ant. You ain't see nothing but what's in front of you. The next payday, I gotta go do this, you gotta do that. And you on that device that keep your neck like this, and you unaware of all of the myriad of dimensions that do exist, even though you can't fathom it. And your antenna, some of y'all got somebody else's hair on top of your antenna. You can't even feel the world, or you displaced from the earth because you're in 5-inch heels up off the earth, or you got so much toxic chemicals banging around in your blood cells, in your system, that you can't really fathom the three dimensions all the way correctly. You're worried about feelings, not even worried. You are perceiving feelings to be real, and they're fleeting at best. But I'm guilty of the same thing. But when I feel that, which is usually when I wake up, I make sure to get to my knees and humble myself back to what I was before I was myself. Yeah, that's I. That's when the soul and the spirit collide and they meet. And that's I. Me is this fateful, gazy flesh, all it is. That you think you feeling, that you think is looking good, that you think is actually here in length, angle, and width. That's me. Or what the Europeans would call the id, the super ego. That's the me. And it ain't real, though. That ain't real, because it wasn't here before your mama and daddy, and it ain't going to be here for your son and daughter to hug on. It ain't real. What they're going to keep is that memory of you. That's in your spirit. And it's granted to you by the soul that's given to you, that's eternal. And that's the I. The I, not the id. That's their understanding of the master's material, who we had to write it down for them to get that understanding. But it's an understanding, right? So you ain't me. Not talking about you and me. Your myself is not, yourself is not real. Self is here in these three dimensions, but you are I. You get what I mean? It's me, myself, and I. And you got to get to that I every morning. Get to the I. Because the I is no separation from what's giving you guidance, direction, protection, grace, honor. He's giving this to you and having you obey principles and standards in these three dimensions: length, angle, and width, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. If you practice those and you maintain them to the best of your ability, nothing can harm you in these three dimensions. You will learn how to adapt to all, and nothing can make you do anything except react. If you react, in fact, to what is happening, it ain't what happened, it's how you react. And it's really how yourself reacts. The I knows you're going to get through it. You just don't, like I said, I'll walk through fire. I will walk through fire and survive. Yourself, that's going to burn the F up. You know what I'm saying? Your body going to feel it. And then, that's what's going to make me scream because it's hurting. You have anxiety over the pain. But the I going to survive. Yeah, so you got to chill out with what they putting on your eye to respond to, because they're trying to induce a response and a reaction so they could do the whole Hegelian dialectic on you. Provide a smooth solution There ain't no solution. It's really just the underlay for the overplay. Yeah, like Iceberg Slick did to his hoes when he said, you killed them, but I'm gonna take care of it. You gotta read the book to know what I'm talking about. But those who know, and then they don't gotta get told to them again. But yeah, I speaking in parables because a lot of folks need to know. I feel like I get the notion that it would help some. But I'm not concerned about anyone that's calling me. Yeah, thank you for checking in. And my son and my daughter are fine. We're not packing up and moving out of no valley or no hills. Because why? Because we obey God. And God said, get out the way of the fire, Joe. It's that simple, but it's kind of like very clever, but very simple. Obey God. And if he guides your steps into the fire, well, homeboy, that's where you supposed to be. It's your time is up. Like OZ say, time's up. You like the minerals and vitamins. It's time for you to go. And it's okay because time ain't real till the I is forever. You always been and always shall be. Never was a time that the I was not. The soul meets the spirit. And the spirit is what we came down into and condensed into this flesh. But we worship in this flesh at the behest of the adversary of the Almighty, which is polarity. It's based on the same thing. You can't have the Almighty without the All Lowly. When you say evil is good, ain't no good in evil. It's how you react to stuff which would help civilization in these three dimensions of being righteous, upright, and fearless. The fearless is what the I is. The righteousness is what the spirit do. Yeah. The fearless is what the I is, because I'm not fearing no flame and no pain, because I know I'm going to survive it. Eternal life is the gift from my obedience, from submission. Yeah. Upright is what the self do in these three dimensions, up and right. And righteous is the spirit. You got to keep that to stay upright in these dimensions. Well, I ain't trying to break it down. I'm putting it in better perspective for me to grasp and for my son, Shakai, to grow on, and for my daughter, Shaddai, to glow on. If you get something from it, I hope you do. But truly, you just a reflection of me. And I am one of you. And we all are the I. The European had you thinking that I means an individual. Ain't no individuals. They some individuals because they don't come from the same I. They ain't cut from quite the same cloth. It's the Rumpelstiltskin cloth they up underneath. With their usury and all of that other stuff that they boy came and taught against. And yet the whole world is operating off of right now because of fear, not fearlessness, fear. They fear, and like ants, they all got their neck down and can't see. They have no clue what's above them. Well, these ants got some antenna to give them some type of sense, and they don't put nothing fake fugazi over it like some women I know. And I ain't mad at you. I'm just trying to bring it to your attention. Get out them high heels, stop eating them poisons and putting them toxins all in your bloodstream, and let your antenna to the universe grant you some type of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and understanding of how you're supposed to move so you don't react to the stimuli they putting on you with repetition, trauma, and symbolism to get you to give them a desired response. At least a response, not even a response, because that's what adults do. We respond with respondability and responsibility. You reacting like a child. And they don't even have to put the real deal on you. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have to know it's how. They just got to tell you and put it in encapsulate it in a symbol and repetition. That's bad, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad. And you're going to give them the reaction before they even put the real stuff on you so they can predict and herd you and crop and harvest your soul. Harvest your soul and yourself. in the 3 dimensions, and your soul in the ethers. So just remove the wig, remove the little fake hair, and get your antenna tuned in. Get attuned to the infinite. Better attuned to the infinite, my friend. And then, not then, and it shall all make sense. It shall all be sensible. I ain't coughing up none of this this weird cloud of smoke, because I'm obedient and I'm protected from it. And if you told me go up in there and give my life for it, I have to do that. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of Shawn Michaels' will. It ain't my will. You got to get tired of the self's will, the self's fear, and the self's readiness to believe in the flightiness of feelings, which are chemicals flowing through your body, which should be manipulated and induced. First of all, they get manipulated by your appetites that you don't control, because through repetition they put it through your body, and now you got it all in your bloodstream. And then they can be induced by your appetites, what you put in your eyes. This entertainment they call in news, north, east, west, and south, which they done flipped on his head from what it really truly is. West Coast. No, you really on the East Coast, homeboy. Down south. No, that's really up north. Old world. No, that's really the new world. It's all flipped up and turned out. Lost and turned out upside down like Diana Ross, if you remember that. But you got to get out of that and submit. It's all about not asking permission, but submission and adherence. The word is obedience. You make your flesh. You who didn't make your flesh, you have your flesh. You own it, and you should operate it, right? You should operate it. Governance, ordinance, generator, operator, department. Generator, operator, destroyer. You could destroy it by disobeying. You can build onto it or operate it, and you can't generate it, but you can operate it by obeying. So you must have obedience, and that means control. Not even control. What is it? Dominance, mastery over yourself, which is this flesh, which is not real. And then you won't have a fear. You'll be fearless in the face of anything that can happen to yourself, because the self is going back to what it came from. Jack, this dirt, these cells. The cells have to separate to know they self. Yeah, and then they have to cease to exist. And when they cease to exist in matter form, they go back into antimatter. Wave, frequency, which is a scientific way of them explaining the infinite, which is actually the I. So how could I fear something that's going to affect the self? You could have anxiety over that momentary pain you're going to feel. That body going to feel in these 3 dimensions. But like I said, I'm bored. I'm ready. I'm making an archive for my daughter and son to obey after I'm gone up out of here. But as far as this 3 dimensions, what is it? Some more pussy, some more money, some more, what? Envy, jealousy, greed. You name the demon. I'm through confronting them, but I'm not through conquering them. But I'm ready for the big one. Ready. I am prepared for whatever will and purpose Almighty is ready to bestow or put in my path. Not to react to, but to respond to and to vanquish. In 3 dimensions, in the eternal realm, and in the spiritual realm. I'm prepared. Why? Because I submit. I fast and I submit. And most importantly, I obey, which is the verb of submission. Submission is the noun. Obey and obedience is the verb. Right? So I'm not romantic. So love is part of the mantra. But really, love just means obedience and submission, faith, and all that it encompasses. Is a romantic that they done put on you. Amour, love. But it's a long one. I love this life. I do not love this flesh. That's all right though. And I was playing. I do not love this flesh. I do love what's coming next. And I know that if I humble my body to my mind's control and dominance and mastery over it, and my mind is connected to the I, which is using me to come to know itself, then there's nothing wrong that can occur. Good or evil. It's just two poles of the same thing. And it's time to bounce. It's time to bounce. If he's saying, hey, go jump into that flame that I'm putting on TV for everybody to see, well, guess what I got to go do? And deuces, you know what I'm saying? I'll see you if you get here, when you get here. But you can't be afraid. You got to stay upright, fearless. 10 toes down, 45-degree angle with the right over the left, guarding the carnal appetites of the flesh, man. If you're going to be in the flesh, obey. Live by the spirit and obey the soul, which is the I. If you're going to live in the flesh, live. If you're going to be in the flesh, live by the spirit and obey the soul. All right? Talking about you got a coach, a life coach, a therapist, and a guru. Man, y'all sound kind of crazy. But you don't read books, the Bible, the Torah, the Pentateuch, or the Quran, and you don't have a solid understanding of any of the Abrahamic religions of God. All right. But it's supposed to work for you somehow. But you heard it here into everything that they got for you from not doing the necessary work or research. They got your neck stuck down here like an ant on these devices, which is not evolution, they devolution. They devolving you. Ain't nothing new on the sun. You think our ancestors didn't have no understanding of this type of technology? No, they saw fit to not bring it to the world because they knew it was making them go backwards, which is why we call news something that it ain't. Northeast, west, and south. It's off. It's backwards. Old world, new world. But anyway, get your neck from doing this and perceive all that is glorious. And don't perceive it like you did it because you didn't. You here to experience it in this flesh that you were created out of by the Creator. Yeah, get out of your self's feelings and get into your eyes experience here. And obey it. Obey that soul. That's a long one. I love you. And ain't nothing you really could do about it, so you might as well have a great day.